Hey guys, what's up? It's Rygar the Destroyer, and today we are going to be taking a look at Han Solo Endor from the Star Wars Black Series. Now, as always, if you like this video and want to see more, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. It's free, and it really helps out the channel. So anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at Han's packaging here real quick. Here it is. As you can see, it's in the new style packaging. Nice big window here on the front of the package. And then, of course, it's got the image of Han here on the side. When you flip it around onto the back, the same image is repeated again, as well as a brief description. And of course, if you'd like to read that, you can go ahead and just pause the video. So overall, pretty standard stuff. So let's go ahead and get back to the figure itself here. Now, Han stands at, let's see here, about 6¼ inches tall. So he's right in scale with all of your other Black Series figures, and he does come with a couple accessories. The first one is already on the figure here, as you can see, and that is his, camouflage trench coat. Now, soft goods at this scale are always kind of a mixed bag, and, the Endor Leia was really, really well done. This figure, not so much. It's very, very close. But they did miss the mark in a couple of areas. So overall, I think the pattern on the outside of the trench coat looks very nice. It's very well done. But unfortunately, they didn't continue it onto the inside. And I think that that really takes away from this figure and makes it look kind of cheap, in my opinion. They definitely could have printed both sides, but they didn't decide to do that. The next problem that I have with this trench coat is here around the collar. So they have this kind of double layered piece here, as you can see, but it kind of pulls up, and I think they did it because, it's supposed to kind of lay, something like this, but because it's not sewed, it comes apart. And it kind of, again, it just takes away from the figure. I think if they had done just a couple small changes, this trench coat could have totally worked, because I think this part of the collar here on the back does actually work. And I do think that the soft goods trench coat definitely does work on this figure. Like, as far as articulation and everything, it's very well done. But, they just kind of missed the mark for me. And it's the biggest, kind of take away from this figure. I think it kind of takes more away than it adds in some cases. Now, his next accessory is one that we've seen, a million times with every Han figure. Of course, he comes with his blaster pistol, and they've done a really nice job of painting it on there, which I do appreciate. And this figure does have a holster, which you can place this in. One thing I will say is it's always very difficult to plug this strap in once it's been unplugged. So just keep that in mind. I'm going to go ahead and leave mine plugged because I don't want to mess with it. Now, as far as articulation on this figure goes, it's fairly well done overall. We'll run through it. He's got a ball peg, or a double ball peg here at the top of the head and in the neck, gives it an excellent range of motion. He does also have a single ball peg at the base of the neck. It doesn't add much articulation, but just enough to get a little bit of extra posing out of it, and make, really dynamic poses with this figure. He does have ball hinge shoulders with a nice range of motion. They do swivel 360. Of course, they will bind up on the trench coat just a little bit. He has single jointed elbows, and even with the trench coat on, they get over 90 degrees on there, which is nice. And then there is a swivel. He does have hinged wrists, as you can see here, hinge and a swivel there, and the hinge runs this way through the hand on this hand here, and then it runs in the opposite direction on this one, as you can see there. He does have what feels like a single ball peg here at the torso, excellent range of motion there, enough to get basically any poses that you want to done, which is nice. This figure does have T-jointed hips with a nice range of motion, even on the side with the holster, which is really nice. On this leg, it does kick forward, up to 90 degrees again, which is nice. On this side, it is limited because of that holster, and it is glued here on the leg, so it can't, this actual holster can't come off of the leg. He does have thigh swivels on both sides. Again, it's the same kind of problem. The thigh swivel on this side is uninhibited, and then on this side, because of that holster, it does have a limited range of motion. He does have double jointed knees, excellent range of motion there, probably more than you'll ever need. And then he does have hinged ankles with an ankle rocker, excellent range of motion there. So overall, this figure is kind of a mixed bag. I think the trench coat was this close to being perfect, but they kind of missed the ball or dropped the ball. You can pose the figure around it. I mean, it's not like so terrible that it like ruins the figure, but I think it does in a lot of cases take away from it. That being said, like I said, you can kind of pose around it. You can hide the parts that they didn't print. You can fiddle around with his trench coat to get it to lay perfectly, and the figure I think does look nice overall. So, you know, it's up to you on this figure. I think in a lot of cases, there's probably going to be some custom trench coats made out there that will look better than this one, but they'll definitely cost more. So it's up to you whether or not to, you know, pull the trigger on this figure overall. So if you have any comments or questions, please leave them down in the comment section below, and I guess I'll see you later.